We just had lunch. About 1:30, I'm gonna float around out here a little bit. It's a nice day, wind blowing very little, probably 4 or 5 miles an hour. You see a little wave here, but not much. We're just paddling right on over to the other side and work that bank a little bit. I don't know how far down I'll go, but there's a cove that goes back up to the, once you get to the other side around the right corner, I may go back up in there. I've never been back in there. That's probably what I'll do instead of go way down the lake. It's probably going to take me about 5 or 10 minutes to paddle over to that point. Because I'm not going to paddle fast. But we did catch one little fish on a 6-inch broken back minnow from Rebel. It's just a great day to be out and about. Coming into the fall season of the year here in Georgia, and we're going to have some beautiful weather for the next couple of months. It doesn't get cold down here usually till December. I didn't really notice it got real cold in December last year. We had a month and a half, 2 months of winter, not much. But this place closes down the latter part of October and opens up again in March. So I usually don't go looking for other places to kayak. I just put my boat up and wait for spring. Get the old videos out and check them from time to time. It brings back how beautiful it is down here. Well, if you haven't ever gotten out on a kayak, I keep saying it, but you need to. You need to spend a little time out in God's creation around His nature. You're missing out on things. It affects your health, affects your emotions, your mood, even your spirit. Get away from as many man-made sounds and as possible. And the human voice, even though God created it, man's been given authority and control over it. It's nice just to get out and not have to hear a lot of people talking. Get away from social media. Get out and watch God's creation at work. Pretty day today, but Hurricane Irma is going to be entering into the state of Florida this weekend. Up in here, next week we're probably going to have some high winds and rain, so I don't know if I'll get out in the middle of the week, maybe next Friday before I can get back out here. But speaking of Irma, I wrote an article and posted it on Facebook encouraging people to make some plans, some escape plans, even in this area. Nobody's exempt from flooding. Hurricane Alberto in 1994 proved that. Our house was completely surrounded. We couldn't get out. The bridges were either washed out, the roads were overrun with water, or the bridges were completely underwater. If a storm system dumps enough water on any location for any length of time and distance of miles from where you are, if you're downstream, then you're going to end up with that water, hopefully not in your backyard, in your house. But if you don't have a way to escape by water, you're missing out. Cheapest way to do it is with a kayak. You don't need a $90,000 bass boat, $350 kayak, and a $25 paddle for each family member. That's all you need. People think you're overboard, but I'll tell you what, after watching Houston, we don't even know what Irma's going to present. We've seen what it did down in the Caribbean. It wiped it out. Most people probably will never get back what they had. But Don't take things for granted. Have a way of escape. Understand your creeks and rivers that are in your county. There's just a little creek that you probably wouldn't even notice if you were driving by in a car. If it rains enough, that creek will block that road. And a lot of times, one creek will intertwine over or under a road pretty much 2 or 3 times going through a county. Hopefully not over. But small creeks that they just build culverts for, assuming that they're not going to get out of their banks, they will block the road what you can't pass. We were completely locked in 1994. We couldn't get out. But water is a pleasure to be on, but it also can be deadly. If you don't respect it, take things for granted, the weather stations start talking about the storm, you need to start making plans to evacuate. Maybe it doesn't come your way. That's great. You just wasted a little time and a few dollars in gas, and maybe a night's stay somewhere to find out what that thing's going to really do. But it doesn't just affect the area that it's going to hit, but it affects points north where people evacuated. Like here in Georgia. People in Georgia got to beware. If you don't plan ahead, you may not even be able to buy gas, food, water, because people coming out of Florida will buy it, and that's okay. But if the roads are clogged up, trucks can't get in to resupply the stores. So it's always good to have a supply of water, food, and a way out by water for every family member. So I know most people are going to think that's crazy, but I don't want to be the one to get the last laugh. You want to be on the escape plan for your family. It's better to have a plan and not need it, and need it not have it. That's always best. Matter of fact, you need more than one plan. Any football coach will tell you that. The first plan don't work. You got to have a backup plan. You got to have a plan that you can revise or switch to another one. If not, then you're going to be in a world of hurt, as they say, where I come from. And that's what I don't want for the people that I really care about, but anybody as far as that goes, for my family and friends, close friends. Y'all need to take heed to what I'm saying. This old man been around a long time. He's seen a lot. Kind of like the insurance company. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Well, we made it to the other side. Enough about preaching on prepping. You're either going to do it or you're not. Hopefully you will.